All right, here we go, Carolee. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So this is Carolee. She's one of
Hi.
our newest enterprise sellers.
I am happy to be here.
All right, and we're excited to have you. And today we're going to chat with the audience about the experience of starting in a sales role at Oracell.
Mm-hmm.
And so tell us about your ramp time and tell us about the ramp experience.
Oh my God. Well, I got ramped up super fast. It was really intuitive to learn the platform as a seller. So since I built my own territory and PG plan out in Oracell, I was able to start demoing, I think it was day 3.
Wow.
So yeah, it was good.
So on day 3, you're demoing. Is that an internal demo or with customers?
Oh no, that was with customers. I demoed internally on day 1, just to get the first day jitters out. And then, yeah, we got on with customers, with Joe and with some of the other sellers. I had my first on-site actually on day 1 too. So everybody got me going fast.
Fantastic. All right, so you demoed the prospect on day 3. How soon did you close your first opportunity?
It was 12 days in. So my second week, I closed my first opportunity.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And did you source that directly? How did it come?
Yeah. So actually, that was from an outbound campaign that we were running in the sequencer. So it was one of my very first things that I set up really early on. And little shop looking to get started. It was a good use case for us.
Great. Perfect. Okay. Small customer, high velocity sales cycle, responded to an outbound campaign. How long did that sales cycle take?
Oh, that was only 3 weeks. And that was only because it was the holidays.
Okay. And that was for how much?
$22,500.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Got your feet wet right away. Did your demo on the third day, closed your first deal a few weeks in. And what are you in the process of finalizing and closing this week?
Oh my gosh. So really exciting deal this week. We're doing a 4-year contract with a very large opportunity, rounding out to almost $3 million.
That's right. Great.
Yeah.
And that sales cycle started how many weeks ago?
Oh, that was 4 weeks ago today.
All right. So now you're a couple months into your role here.
Yeah.
You're running your own demos. You're running your own PG, your outbound sequencing and pipeline automation. 4 weeks ago, you started a sales cycle with a very large enterprise, and you're getting ready to close your land deal for just under $3 million.
Yeah. And actually, we had commitment from the CEO on that deal 10 days in. I specifically remember it was 10 days because you were on that call with me. And we built out their environment in 2 days. We're able to do the full POV by 10 days and do the EB go, no go with the CEO.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We were going through a forecast call earlier today.
Yeah.
And I made a comment on one of your opportunities that we were reviewing. And in Oracell, as we review the opportunity summary gives us some intelligence about the deal, an overview of who's involved, what's critical next steps are, the upcoming meetings, things of this nature. But above that, there's a graphical interface that shows we run a MEDDPICC BANT 3-wise sales process. And I told you that it was the most complete, well-rounded execution of the sales framework that I've seen in my career in an opportunity review. How much of that information? So it scores, just so everyone knows, it scores the total amount of interaction across the MEDDPICC and other fields within the sales framework. It provides coaching against the amount of interaction, where the gaps are in the opportunity, and the quality of execution. Now, yours was the most complete I've ever seen of any deal review. So how much of that information did you have to capture and fill out on your own?
Anyone who has ever worked with me knows I'm not great about filling out my Salesforce fields. So luckily, I actually didn't input anything into that. The way that I use that is it still helped me. I don't manually input information in there. It captures it from my calls, and then it auto-fills the MEDDPICC fields for me.
It does what?
Oracell. Oracell fills it in for me. But where it did help me a lot is that visual very clearly outlines when my paper process isn't complete. I don't have decision criteria. So it did guide me in my conversations so that I know, all right, I have this gap. Next call, I'm going to make sure I bring that up.
Yeah. So historically, you didn't have great hygiene when you were working in your CRM. At Oracell, we use only Oracell. So you were up and running in a few days, doing your first prospect demo, closed your first deal within a couple weeks, and that within a few weeks, and that was self-service via an outreach campaign executed within the Oracell sequencer. Now you find yourself, a month or so into a sales cycle for a 7-figure plus opportunity with a lot of velocity behind it, with very big opportunity with a big enterprise, and all of that. What tools did you have to use outside of Oracell through that entire sales cycle across these 2 accounts?
I don't think I used a single tool outside of Oracell other than connecting with everybody I worked with at that company on LinkedIn.
Okay, great. Okay. Well, thank you very much for sharing this with everyone.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about how Carolee is off to the races in really executing, to excellence here at Oracell, I'm sure she'd be happy to share her experience with you. Hit us up on LinkedIn. Thanks. Until next
guys.
time.
Bye.